This is Agent Jolomio. I'm talking to Mr. Evans Paul.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Today is February 28th, 2025, at approximately 20:07 hours. You're at PBS Station District 16, located at 2995 South Jog Road. Okay, we'll be discussing PBSO case number 124-119-174. Again, PBSO case number 24-119-174. Today is, again, Friday, February 28th at 2025 at approximately 20:08 hours. This interview is conducted by me. You're with Agent Jolomio, ID 9146. And I'm presented with your name?
Evans Paul.
Can you spell your last name?
P as in Peter, A as in Apple, U as in Uncle, L as in Larry.
Okay. And what's your date of birth, please?
In November 1st, 1974.
Okay, you're wearing a black jacket and black pants and black shoes?
Yes.
Do you speak English?
Yes.
Would you like to speak English during this interview?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to speak Creole, you can, because I'm a Creole speaker as well.
I would be too.
All right. Are you under the influence or any medications that
No.
give you the ability not to answer any questions?
No.
Okay. Do you have any mental conditions or impairments that would affect you,
No.
your ability to make questions?
No.
Okay. Please state your full name again.
Evans Paul.
Okay. Evans Paul, I'm going to read you your Miranda rights, okay? Make sure that you understand, okay? You have the right, before you make any statement, I'm going to read you your following rights. You have the right to remain silent and not answer any questions. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. Do you understand?
Yes.
You have the right and presence and representation of a lawyer of your choice before you make any statement during any question. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you cannot afford a lawyer, you're entitled to the presence and representation of a court-appointed lawyer before you make any statement during any question. Do you understand?
Yes.
If at any time during this interview you do not wish to answer any questions, you are privileged to remain silent. Do you understand?
Yes.
I can make no promises or threats to induce you to make a statement. This must be of your own free will. Do you understand?
Yes.
Any statement will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. With you understanding your rights, are you willing to speak with me?
Sure.
Okay. Cool. All right. And do you swear and affirm that the statement that you're about to give is true?
Yes.
All right. And do you acknowledge that whomever knowingly provides a false statement under oath shall be guilty of a misdemeanor of the first degree?
Sure. Yes.
Clear. All right. There you go. It's okay. So, Mr. Paul, okay, so this is obviously has to do reference of
Night of Columbus.
Night of Columbus. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're okay. What is your role in the Night of Columbus? Like, what you were appointed?
I mean, when that happened, I was a Grand Knight.
You're a Grand Knight. Okay.
Yeah.
You're appointed a Grand Knight. Okay.
Yes.
And when were you appointed that Grand Knight for the church?
What year? Last year.
Last year. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember the month?
Yeah, it was like what? It was what, April. Yeah, the election was happening in April. Yeah, I think so.
April. Okay.
Yeah.
And when were you appointed?
And I think it was after Friday and Drew came, but it was July or June. I don't really remember the month. But it's between like the summer. I remember after probably end of July. I don't really remember the date.
July and June last year.
Yeah.
So 2024.
2024. Yes.
Okay. Okay, sometime in July. Okay. And what do you do being the Grand Council? Like, you're the Grand Knight of the...
Yeah, when you get Knight, so you like a president, you're on the top of the group. So when there is anything, I mean, they come to talk to you about it. If there is anything you can do, or you can talk to the person, or you can decide, you know. But the only thing, if there is anything you want the offer, you can call the headquarters. So I mean, it's in Connecticut. You call them or you email them. Everything. That's yeah.
Okay, that's what you. Okay. And are you compensated for that position?
Oh no, it's just a volunteer. Yeah, for the church.
So you don't get paid for that?
No.
Okay. So you're just doing there for the church? And
yes, for the church, yeah, and the school.
And the
because
school.
all my kids been there,
Okay.
they still there, you know.
Okay.
And then now my wife work there and everything.
Okay, that's
so
good.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right. Have you ever had a job in the church that you've ever been compensated for?
No.
No?
No.
It's been all volunteer?
I have been volunteer every day, yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been at the church, attending the church for?
It's been like since 1999.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, that's right, around 25, 26 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Attending the church, okay. And during the time around July of last year when you became the Grand Knight, there's an incident that occurred, okay? Reference, I guess they had a meeting.
Yes.
And there was a discrepancy.
Yes.
Reference funds. Yeah. Can you explain like what that discrepancy?
Yes. So what happened is this was like after when you get night, the treasurer, everybody, when there's something, they need to talk to you.
Okay.
So usually I used to pick up my wife.
Okay.
Because she always done at 6 o'clock after care.
Okay.
So when I went there to pick up my wife, and then I went to sit. There's a blue tent by the family life, so I went to sit there. And then there's like some Haitian on Friday. We have Haitian prayer, so they know me. I've been just been sitting there talking to them. Like.
Okay.
And then Ed, he's the treasurer. Ed came. He was like, "Hey, Evans, I really want to talk to you. They tell me you're here." I was like, "Okay, what happened? What's going on?" He was like, "There's something I really want to talk to you about because now you're Great Night." I said, "What happened?" He was like, "Listen, we've been collecting money as a donation for scholarship. It's been 3 years. Like, they make a picture with the people for the donation, but they never give the money." I mean, soon he tell me that. That's like, click on my mind. If you're getting people donation for something, you should give that money out. Especially you stand up in the church, you make a picture with those people. Everybody sees like they're going to have a scholarship, and then they never receive the money. I was like, okay, just tell me what happened. And then when he tells me, they never give the money for 3 years. It's been past 3 years. So as I'm Great Night, so he needs my help. I was like, what kind of help you need? He was like, we need to give the scholarship. I was like, do you have anybody? And then he bring me like a bulletin with the person name and everything. I was like, okay, those 2 girls, I know them, so I can talk to them. I was like, as the paper said, they have a scholarship for 4 years, so that's been $2,500 each year. So there's gonna be $10,000 by person is going to be able to do with 20,000. So I tell him, so this is what we're gonna do because my kids is over there to at that school, Caledonia, man. So what we do, we pay the tuition online, like in the website called Fax. I tell him like, this is what we're going to do. I can just get the money and then I put the money in my account. I can go to Fax. Just contact those parents, get the information, and then make the payment online. He was like, Evans, as soon as you can do it, help me out, that will be fine. I said, okay. So he went to his car, he went home. He wrote the check, but he wrote the check back home. But I think he's going to come with the check. I can tell him, like, just put my name on it because I already tell him I will just deposit the check. That way I can make the payment online. So what he said was like, okay, so now you're Great Night. You don't have time. I never have time. So he said, you don't have time to go to the bank with me to put your name in the account. So you will get Night anyway. So just sign on the top. He gave me the pen. He was like, sign on the top of my signing. Put your name. That's not going to be a problem. So I take the check. I hold the checks for 2 weeks because I need to find out, like, with the parents first. Okay. So how much money, because you don't get only one scholarship. The school give you scholarship and everything. Okay. So I just want to see how much the difference, if it's higher than $2,500 a year or if it's less. Okay. But myself, if it's less, I will give them the rest of the money because $2,500 is belong to them every year. Right? Okay. So, okay. So after talk to the parents, one parent tell me, Evans, I don't have no balance because we have a Spanish scholarship I got, so can I use that money next year? I said, yes, next year you can have 5,000 next year. But there is one of them, when I do event, like selling tickets and everything, she always help me out, selling tickets for me and everything at the church, right? So I really need to give her that money. And then she hold the school $2,300 some dollars. Okay. So, and then we have a scholarship for $2,500 for her. You know, her name is Kelly. So I always promise her, so we're going to get the money, So after that, I went to my bank. It was 2 checks, $20,000 to do. Okay. I deposit 1 check for $10,000. So I tell her, like, this is a scholarship, checks from Net of Columbus. So I'm going to give to Cardinal Women. So the check deposit. So they said the check's going, I think like the first date was September 5th, something like that. The check's going to be paid. But the girls keep asking me, Evans, when you gonna pay and everything. We always text. I said, the check is not clear yet. I'm waiting for the check to be clear. That way I can pay it for you. Right? Yeah. So after that, we're gonna have a meeting. So I'm the one that they host the meeting and everything. If I have to ask questions, I can. So by the time in the meeting, you need to give report, right? The treasurer didn't show up. The guy that I'm dealing with in that problem, he didn't show up, but he said, Evans, I will send the report, the people what happened, and then you will talk about it. I said, okay. So when the report come up, I read the report, there's like $20,000 check. Yeah. But the money is not out yet from the account. But we see there's $20,000 check out for the scholarship, all right? And then there is a guy named Robert Mariscale. He just stood up, says like, oh no, there is no money, we cannot give any scholarship without me and this and that. That pissed me off because I knew things he didn't know. Because I was like, listen, dude, it's been like 3 years. You keep making picture with people. You said you going to give scholarship, you never give it. So now I'm the get line. So I'm responsible to give those people the scholarship. Because I know you want to use the money for your own gain. Because lately he came with few other guys from north that moving down here. They talking about they put that money in like what we call a market. You know, they're gonna use it for like market, so to make benefits out of it. So which is I said no, you can't do that because the money is donation, it's here for the scholarship. So now you guys want to use the money just in the market. Alright? So I always against that. And then after that, I was like, after the meeting done, we always eat after the meeting. My wife always like give me food for everybody to eat. Just I call him, I said like, listen,
who'd you call? Who'd you call?
Wabbit.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the one that we discussed. I was like, listen, that's the way I am. Yeah. Dude, I don't want you to think like I have any personal problem with you. So I'm sorry if I say something that offend you. So I'm sorry about it. And then we done, we start talking and everything. But by tomorrow, I received a text from him. I need the checks.
Yes.
I didn't even answer. Believe me, I didn't answer.
Yeah, I saw the text messages.
Yeah, because I didn't like have any. I didn't take any checks from you. So why you ask me for a checks? So at 3 o'clock, I mean at around 5 something, I went to pick up my wife. He knew I would be there, so he was waiting in the parking lot. He came next to my car. He says like, Evans, can you give me the checks? I would tell him like, listen, dude, I don't have any checks for you. Did I get any checks from you? No. If I have to give checks, I will give it to the person that give it to me. Right? So okay. And then, like I told you, I already tell the bank. So I mean, the scholarship will cancel. I don't want to get involved anymore. So can you send the money back to TD Bank? That way, you know, I don't want anything to see with that. So the bank tried to tell me. So the TD Bank need to request the money. So what I did, I called Ed. He's the treasurer. I tell Ed like, can you meet with me at Wawa? So we meet at Wawa in Belvedere because I'm living in Wawa, Palm Beach. Okay. So I was with my daughter, and then we went there. We talked about it and everything, and then he was like, okay. It looked like they called me Evans, but I don't call them back because I didn't know what they're talking about. I was like, yeah, they want you to go to TD Bank, request the money back, and then we're done with it. So it's been like time passed because I never talk to nobody. I don't even feel to go to the meeting anymore. But I call my assistant. It's Sally Sullivan. It's my assistant. I call him. I explain to him the situation, what happened and everything. So I was like, I don't tell anybody. So if you know anyone come to tell you whatever, I mean, you will know or tell you, right? And then after that, so one Sunday I went to church, and then Father and Jew, so we have a good relationship. He was like, Evans, you know, I'm the one that doing usher at the church at 9 o'clock mass. He was like, Evans, I want to talk to you after mass done. I was like, here Father in your office. He was like, no, just right here we'll talk. And then when I done, I said, Father, I'm finished. So we went to the back room on the left side. He was like, listen, they tell me something about the check and this and that. But when they tell me that, they said they already make a police report. But we have what we call a district deputy. And then they already tell the district deputy about it. They asked me to actually to step down. So I was like, that's all you want to say? He says, yes, I'm finished. I said, okay. I didn't say nothing else. I said, okay. But since he says that, the reason why I pissed off, because all of them, they're always happy to see me, talk to me and everything. So if something happened like this, so you guys already make a police report, so no one call me, talk to me about it. No one wants to know what I think. So why? Because black people always like, they steal it, you know? So I didn't say anything at all. I just like, forget it. Okay. So now what I did, I was waiting. But now I have to deal with the bank and the treasurer. So I called the treasurer. I said, like, listen, did you make the request for the money? He said, yes, Evans, I did. I was like, okay, let me find out with the bank. When I called the bank said, Evans, the other bank made the request for the money, but there is something called investigation. They're making out with the check, so we cannot release the money until the investigation done. I was like, that's all I want to know. So I'm waiting for an investigation to be done. Like I tell you guys, just send that money back. I wanna be finished with everything. That's it.
How long ago was that?
It was like it was back when. It can be back in November, around November or December. I don't really remember the date.
Okay. But is that normal practice though? Is that normal practice?
Oh yeah, of course.
No, for somebody to take the Knight of Columbus check and put it in their own bank account?
If it's not,
is that normal? Like, do all the Grand Knights do that?
Listen, let me tell you what happened. You know, when you just get Knight, nobody tells you anything.
Okay.
You need to listen to the treasurer only, because the treasurer taking care of the money.
Okay.
He's the one that's responsible. Soon you get Knight, he's the one that's go to the bank with you, add your name in the bank account. So he was the one that, like I tell you, giving the check, says, Evan, you can sign it up. You can sign right here because you're a great Knight right now. So like you said, you need 10,000 to pick the scholarship. So yes, this is the way it is.
Often if Ed said that's not true, he told you to not put your name like that on the check.
Who, Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ed can say whatever he wants. Because like I tell you, yes, Ed was the one that gave me the pen, says like sign right here.
And said you could put it in your own.
That's correct, just to do the payment online. Because I already clear with him. That's how we make payment.
What payment online?
It was like the scholarship payment for the parents.
But why would it come from your bank account? That's why I'm kind of confused. It doesn't.
Because like to make the payment online, you need to pay the money. It's supposed to come from my account because I'm the one that making the payment.
Okay, but isn't it like you said, Sister Scar? Isn't it 2,500? Is the first? It's up to 10,000, but it's 2,500 increments, right?
It's supposed to be like $10,000 for each. Yeah.
Yeah. But it starts at 2,500 first.
That's correct. So when we control it, like I said in the beginning, it's supposed to be like we take 2 check off to 10,000 for 4 years.
Yeah, but don't they go normally in 2,500 increments first? Basically, what I'm saying is, it's never a $10,000 check written outright. It's 20. It goes up to 10,000, but it's 2,500 each. And then you do.
No, we discussed that. And this is the reason why I want to get myself out of it, because when I had the problem with him in the meeting, that's how they want it.
Yeah, that's how
they want like 2,500 like every year, because in case the kid's not in the school anymore, they don't want to lose.
Or their grades are not.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't want to lose the money.
Okay.
So I mean, I can see it makes sense.
Okay.
But like when I learned just $10,000, and then the paper says $10,000. You know, but at the meeting, that's the way they want it.
Okay. But don't you think though that, in your honest opinion, does that make sense to you that you would sign your name on the check to then deposit it in your account and then you pay it for them like that?
I mean,
be honest, like that's not, and I'm trying to help you out. But
let me tell you that.
Okay.
I mean, I was like, at that time, I mean, the way I was thinking, I just wasn't talking like it's not fair or whatever, because I was thinking about nothing different. If it's gonna take the money on this, I just want to, like I tell you, especially the girl like that helped me, like selling the ticket for us for Night of Columbus. We did a breakfast Night of Columbus. I mean, I was the one that made that much money that day. It was for around 4,000 something, selling tickets only from the church. So she was the one only every Sunday come to sell the ticket. So I just want, I know she hold the school the money. I really want to help her out. I just want to do that on my hand. So still now, they still don't help her out. So I'm the one that keep telling her, call father, call the church, call everybody, call everybody. I even like email. I was the one that emailed the headquarters about the situation. They didn't say anything to the headquarters. As a great night, I emailed them. I'm the one that emailed district deputy about it. So 10,000 because they said 20,000. I have to explain to them like it was 10,000 and everything, you know. So yeah.
But after you deposited a check, why did you not tell anybody that you put it in your account and then you'd be paying for it through online?
Like anybody, like who?
I know you're the Grand Knight, but you gotta tell, you know, because you know you have meetings every quarter or every month, you know. Don't you know they will see that money missing? Like, how come you didn't let the people know before?
I just, no. Like I tell you, whoever knows Ed on was the only one that know.
Okay.
Because when we did the meeting, the first meeting we did after the check, I mean, the check wasn't deposited yet. You remember I tell you that. I said, like, we did the meeting, and then we talk about the check, the report. There's a 2 check that's right for $20,000 scholarship. And then that's how we're going to have the problem. Because he doesn't want $20,000 get out at once,
yes.
But he wants to give $2,500 a year.
Yeah.
So that the most money that's supposed to get out is like $5,000.
Yeah.
So, right? So that's it.
But why would you do, if you know that that's going to be a problem, why would you do $20,000?
I didn't know if it was going to be a problem. I didn't know that.
You just said that they want to be
Exactly. They want that after, like before.
Yeah.
The check was right before the meeting.
But it's always been like that. I was talking to the other Grand Knights in the past, including Mark Lambertstill, and he said Lebenstone, and he said that it's always been $2,500 increments ever since they started and he created it, because it was both Mark and Robert that created this scholarship.
So,
so what I'm saying is, if you know it's always been like that, why would you do that?
No. I didn't know it was been like that. I know it's like $2,500 a year.
Yes.
Yes, I just tell you.
Yes.
But for 4 years, it's supposed to be 4 times $2,500. So that means it's like $10,000, right? That's what I just said. So for $10,000 for 4 years. So when we had the meeting after that, so they said like it's supposed to be $2,500 in case the kids that stay in school, they don't want to lose any money.
Yes. So doesn't that make sense? Why would you do the whole $10,000 then?
Because it's for 4 years.
I understand that, but just like what you said, if the kid say he no longer goes to school, skips school, or the grades are not there, then you just lose that.
Yes, exactly. We discussed that in the meeting after.
Okay. So basically, you decided upon yourself that you're gonna take that money, deposit it, and then pay them regardless.
No, he was gonna. I mean, this is the reason why I deposited only 1 check, because the other girl for this year she didn't have any balance. It's only 1 girl that have balance $2,300.
Okay.
So basically, I mean, after I paid that $2,300, whatever that's left over to make it like $2,500. But I was not gonna do that. I was gonna give them like the total, like, you know, pay the balance and then give it the total for 10,000 for the 4 years.
Okay,
but which is the one that.
But then you attempted to submit another check for 10,000, right?
Submit what?
You tried to get another check for 10,000, right?
No. Those 2 checks was at the same time. The same time, the same minutes.
Okay, which is 20,000.
Exactly.
I know, but why would you do another $10,000 check?
Because it's for 2 people.
Okay.
Because the other person, she doesn't have any balance, so that means she will wait for next year's school, so which is to get like $5,000, and then next year $7,500, and then in order for his like 10,000. But she said she just want to make sure, Evans, can I get 5,000 for the, because I don't have any balance right now.
And what was the girl's name?
But I remember like the kid's name that's gonna have the scholarship. His name is Nicholas, but I always call her Nicholas' mom.
Okay, how about the other one?
The other one, her name is Kelly, and then the kid name is what's her name? Megan.
So there's 3 kids?
2.
Okay, name them again.
Megan is daughter of Kelly, and then Nicholas is the daughter of Nicholas' mom. That's always, I always call her Nicholas' mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna present you a check here. Okay. It was on August 23rd, 2024. It's supposed to go to Cardinal Newman. All right. Because
Yes.
that's what the
Yes, you write the check
that's
for.
that's what the fund for is for Cardinal
Yes.
Newman. You can take a look at it and let me know what you think.
Yes, that's the exact check that was deposited to my bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
That you deposited to your bank.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Your signature.
Yes.
Your everything, right?
This one, yeah.
Yes. And then obviously there's video of you depositing the check.
I'm sorry?
Video of you depositing the check.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when I deposited the check, so the teller and I, we were chatting about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, can you present? Show me where you use that. No, show it to me. Like, pick up the paper. And show me.
Evansville.
Okay. And then you wrote up top.
Yeah.
Do you normally do that?
Yeah.
Do you normally do that?
Who?
Yeah, you can do the check. I said, is that normal for you?
No. When I did that, like when I was with Ed, I tell you, when I wasn't with Ed, I did that.
When you wasn't with Ed?
When I was with Ed,
okay,
at St. Luke, when he gave me the check.
Okay.
Yes.
And Ed told you to do that?
Ed was the one that gave me the pen. Says Evans, sign on the top of my name, and then you can deposit it. Yes, it was Ed that gave me the pen. I don't know if there is anything where there is a camera under that tent, the blue tent. I will be happy.
A blue tent?
Yeah, it's in front of the family life. I was sitting, we were sitting there, and then he was with uniform.
Ed is not. Okay, so you're saying Ed told you to do that?
Yeah,
okay,
so if Ed was like with me right now, and then you can ask Ed that question on my face to see if he would say no.
I can't say it to your face, but
yeah.
I mean,
And then I don't remember, like, when was that? 3 Sundays. Yes, 3 or 4 Sundays after church. You know, I always have closed the church door. Okay. And then my wife, Ed was sitting right there. Okay. And my wife said, Ed, when you gonna figure it out? The money thing. Ed says, like, Vincent and I already talk about it, so I'll call my bank. And then Wabet was there. You know what he said? He said, like, it's not the time to talk about this.
Okay. All right, I'm going to show you a series of statements real quick. Mm-hmm. Okay, because you said, again, that, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I did several subpoenas, all right, to your bank accounts, all right? Mm-hmm. And you said that you're not, it's a voluntary position, right?
Yeah.
You don't work for the church for payment.
No,
you do.
No.
You work regular.
Exactly.
For church, okay?
Yeah.
So this is from your checking account, okay? And there's some highlights here, and I want you to explain like what these are, okay? Not the overdraft fees or anything like that, but just like the highlights on some of these.
Yeah, that's a direct deposit for my wife.
For your wife?
Yeah, direct deposit for my wife. That's a payment from the school.
And that goes straight into your account?
Of course.
You guys don't have a joint account?
The account is joint account. Hmm? Yes, it's joint account.
But it's only showing your name.
No, it's both of us. There is a mistake from the bank. You can call the bank. It's both of us. Yeah, my wife is right here.
No, show me the actual account number though. That's for your wife. On the statement, I'm just showing you.
What you mean?
Okay.
So you want me to pull the account online? I can pull it online.
No. You don't have to. I already have it.
Yeah.
Or should look at the savings as well.
Yeah. Yes, all those is like deposit from, my wife worked there. That's how she get paid. Deposit to, it's a direct deposit from St. Luke to both of his account. Yeah, it says joint account right here. You don't read it?
No, I see that, but I'm just saying it's showing on your checking account.
Oh yeah, it's for both of us. Both of us have direct deposit in this account.
So where are the checks now?
I give the checks to the same day I met with him at Wawa.
Met with who?
Ed.
Ed?
Yeah.
He has the checks?
The same day, yeah.
Both checks?
No.
Just the one check?
The one check, yeah.
Okay.
Because the other check was already deposited, but the money still there in the account.
Your account?
Yes.
Okay. And why is it still in your account?
It's still there because the investigation stopped the money in the account.
Okay. And if it, let me show you this. This one right here. You see, you'll see the direct deposit for the 10,000, and right there. When it got deposited.
Yes.
Why is it now 9,900? Why is some money missing from that?
No, it's not some money missing. It's like, it's my checking account where I pay bills. So when I pay it over, so the bank usually charge me like $15 for whatever they pay it, and then they charge me $15. So at that time, it was the bank that's managed the money when I paid any bill. So I didn't have anything to see with that. So that you can see the late ones, you can see on the late ones, you can see it stop. Yes, I will rather pay $15 the charge, but like my wife said, I need the $10,000 thing with no touch. You can see after this one, you can see the start, they hold completely the $10,000. So after $10,000, I rather them charge me $15 for everything that I pay. So which is the way it is right now. Because I know anytime soon, the money will be requested, because I'm always in contact with the bank. Because the reason why the money is still there, because they've offered the investigation. So when the time comes, I need that the $10,000 is there for them.
So basically, when you deposited a check, your account was a little short. That's why they took.
No. When they deposit the check, my account wasn't.
Why did they take $15? I don't understand.
So when I deposit the check, so the account was negative $73.
Negative, yes.
Yeah, $73.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't even pay attention to that, because that day when the check was deposited, you know, that's the big thing. That day the check wasn't clear right away, because the check's supposed to be clear like 1 week after.
I understand, but it took $73.
I mean, yes, that's it, but the bank takes it with $72. That wasn't me. Yeah.
I understand that, but your account was negative. That's what I'm saying. That's
Oh, exactly. I mean, my account always need, balance. My wife's checks come in.
I know, I see.
Yeah.
But I'm just
my
saying,
checks come in and everything. You know, checking account. You can see all the bills. That's the bills
I know.
account.
I'm looking at all of it. Okay. All right. I appreciate you coming in here, and I appreciate you being honest with me.
There's something I need to talk about.
Okay.
So is there anything when somebody get donation from people, you said you're going to do something out with it, and then you didn't do it? Is there any law for this?
Say.
Like right now, we have $40,000 donation. We're supposed to give scholarship since 3 years ago, but that money never go for donation. So that's a nice question. What happened? The reason why you see this case come over here. So when I start getting night, I don't want any money, because that's the thing I always do. When you only black people stand up in the middle of white doing a meeting all the time, believe me, there's something. So I just want to make sure I do things right. So I just want to make sure Ed and I need every receipt, like audit, see money that's go out and everything. So there's a check of $783. I mean, by the time I am like the at night, that money went out, right? So when he calls me, he says, Evans, I just paid $783 to Wabet Mariscal. I was like, okay, do you have a receipt? He was like, this is a problem, that's why I'll call you, because he cannot give me a receipt for that money. I was like, if he cannot give you a receipt for that money, he needs to pay that money back. And then Ed says, yeah, this is what I'm working on. the day of my ceremony, right? And then those two about to fight for that. I have in the middle, I was like, you guys not coming to mess up my ceremony for that. And then we'll talk about it after. So this is what he did for all his life. He was like, give him receipt out, and then they give him checks.
Okay.
So those receipts, like at that time, on my watch, I was like, no, we're not going to give this kind of receipt from you. If you said you buy something for the group, the receipt supposed to show on the top if it's coming from this, if it's coming from that, and then why the expenses?
Well, that's something that's going to have to be discussed with, not only your council or your church, but, whoever the treasurer, like you said.
Exactly, this is what I did. So I email like everywhere that I have to email. But at the end, he was the one that bring you with the group, open the group and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So they just, whatever it is, they always, put him up and everything. So all I have to do, I just like feel, still now, I just feel to, like, get myself back the way that I feel. Because I feel like there's a hypocrisy there, because people, when things happen, they can't talk to me, they did not talk to me. And then still now, like, he just texting me, email me, says, Evans, says like, we need help. All of us, like, we volunteer. We volunteer. Soon, they put me down. I didn't show up to 2 meetings. They already put him in great night. You think when I see that in the police, I will feel good? No, because you guys don't talk to me. You guys don't know what happened. So even the district deputy called them, says like, even sent me all the texts and emails. So I was like, yeah, because you put me down, because Wabet is your body. That's what I said to the district deputy. And then at the end he says, Evans, I didn't put you down. Father Andrew was the one that asked me to put you down. I was like, okay, if Father is the priest, he lied on my face, says the district deputy tell him to put me down, and then now the district deputy says like, Father asked him to put me down. So I was in the middle of everything, so I was like, yes, I didn't go, since then I didn't go to the meeting.
All right, I agree. All right, but unfortunately, listen, the biggest problem that we have here is the check, period.
Yes.
Okay? The check of $10,000, okay? Unfortunately, we can't go by hearsay, okay? We don't have no proof that Ed or this person or any person told you to put their name across and deposit it in your bank account, okay? From what I see now is, listen, everybody has issues, especially the economy. A lot of things are crazy expensive, this and that, whatever. Even myself, the same things I bought at Costco used to be $400, now I'm paying $800, Everybody's going through a headache. Everybody's going through something, all right? But, again, I'm trying to help you out the best I can, okay?
Okay.
I need you to be honest with me, because at the end of the day, what you did is illegal.
Okay.
You cannot forge a check.
Okay.
Okay? You can't put your name across from anything.
Okay.
And you can't deposit it in your account. Period.
Yeah.
Because it didn't happen like that before. It wasn't like that.
It's really stupid. It's the problem is, I am the one that's stupid. I should not accept him telling me to put my name. I can do that. Yeah. But if he said no, that is set up. But he knew that's going to be happen, because you said he said no.
Again, I cannot take your word versus his word or hearsay. But all I know is all I have is the evidence.
Yeah.
It's your signature, which you just said.
Yes.
You notice a check.
Yeah.
You are obviously going inside, talking to Toledo and depositing it. Okay.
Yes. No, it was in the drive-through.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Okay. Doing the drive-through, depositing it, and then going to your account. Okay. And unfortunately, your account was already negative. Okay. Which why was as soon as you dropped it, there was $73 missing, and that's why it went down to $9,926.03. Okay.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't look good when I could pull your account and I could see all these overdraft and negative. Like I said, it's hard or whatever. So it looks like you had the intent to possibly do this to maybe help yourself and your family, because obviously you got kids, you got whatever, and then you're going to pay the money back or quickly do what you had to do, that's a different case if you had the permission to do that.
Okay.
As of right now, the people that I spoke to, the people I interviewed, the people that sworn and said that's a practice that's never been done. and nobody gave you the permission to do that. So that's the issue that we have here. Okay? Now, I'm trying to help you to help me out, and you need to tell me the truth, why you did what you did, so I could then maybe tell a judge later or so-and-so, whatever, to be like, hey, listen, Evans Paul was honest, he's not a bad guy, we're not looking for him to go to jail or do this or do that. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, let me tell you. Like I tell you, I didn't do that because I need the money.
Okay.
I already tell you the truth.
Okay.
I did that just to help Kelly to pay the scholarship. I didn't do it because I need the money to use for myself.
Okay.
No, that wasn't my scholarship. You know, that was me. Promise her, like, I see they give you the scholarship, so you helping me out selling the ticket and everything, so I will do the best I can just to pay the balance for you. You know? Yes. This is the reason why, like I tell you, we take 2 times 10,000 for 4 years for those 2 parents. That's it. No. But if I need like to steal the money, I will deposit both checks. I had both checks in my hand. So why you don't have the copy in the other one? They did tell you it was like $20,000? No.
No, I have. What happened was the other one wasn't deposited like this one.
Oh, okay. Yes.
This one basically got cleared. That's why they were able to take the $73 from the first.
No, it wasn't clear by the way, no. Like I tell you, so I don't want you to believe me what I said, because it was a they give it date. I don't know where I can find that receipt. See, if I could not find that receipt, I will give it to you.
See, but
$10,000 check's not gonna clear right away. Nah.
I get it, but what I'm just saying is it went to your account.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if it went to your account, that means it was clear to your account. You may have not.
Oh
paid
yes,
before.
now I understand this.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when it was found, Robert told me that he had access to that check because it was made for the night in Columbus. He's the one that stopped it, and that's why you have a problem of it retrieving back right now, because it's referenced this investigation. So Robert was the one that initially stopped the check.
That's not true. Yes.
That's what I.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
not true.
Okay.
Yes.
He says, and then obviously it did not help when he's trying to talk to you, and then you ignoring him.
No,
About the check.
no,
And,
no,
you know,
no.
The text message, and then he went to go meet you at obviously at the church when you picked up your wife.
Yes.
And he just sped off on him and whatnot.
No, I didn't spit off on him. I just like put my window down. I said I get the checks from you. So if I have to return the checks, I will return it to the person that give it to me. That's what I said.
Okay. That's what.
And then this is the reason why I give one of the checks to Ed, because he was the one that gave it to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying you have no.
No intention to steal the money for myself. No.
And you
That's
have-
why they want.
And
Yeah.
you have no. You have no problems with your money as of right now.
No. Well, as of right now, by the time I'm talking to you right now, nah. Because I mean, I just have like a $9,400 and some dollars deposit on my other account in the other bank.
Okay. Do you know that your license is currently suspended?
Yeah,
Okay. Why is that?
because
Unpaid.
no, the insurance like leave the city. Since then, I never just get the insurance for those cars. But the car that I'm driving right now, but he has insurance. But the other insurance, like what my license was suspended, is for them.
Okay. Why don't you try to fix that?
The reason why, because let me tell you, there's like so many other like important things. Those cars that I have the license track, suspended.
Bills.
I don't have those cars anymore. So the I was like, okay, they're gonna.
Do you have the Land Rover?
Yes. So they still gonna take the tag anyway. So because the tag not belong, it was one black BMW, one silver BMW, one Toyota Sequoia. So those 3 cars I give them in the trunk because they had a problem. So yeah.
All right. So you're saying that you have no problem with bills?
Everybody has a problem with bills.
I understand.
Yes.
Everybody. I agree.
Everybody has a problem with bills. I didn't say that. Yeah.
Okay. So you're sticking with your story that you're saying that you deposited money in your account
Yes.
because you're going to help them pay for the scholarship.
Yes. I mean,
Online. bill.
not them. It's like Kelly, because she was the one that's only have balance. but they were the parents. She didn't have any balance, but she will save the money to get $5,000.
But wouldn't it just make sense for that check to just go to to where it was payable to the Cardinal Newman Fund, and then later it could have gone to
I mean, to tell you the truth. So I sent an email to Cardinal Newman when I get the check. I said in that email to Sister Jody, I said, like, I have to pay the scholarship for 2 students at Cardinal Newman. So I got 2 checks of $10,000.
Yeah.
So what should I do? I don't know if I can, let's find the email. What should I do? But Sister Judith, I don't know if she was on vacation or what, she never answered that email back. Yes, but my intention just to, like, if she said Judith says I haven't stopped by to drop both checks, I will do it, but she didn't send the email back.
Well, what I'm saying is, wouldn't it just make sense when you got issued that check for it to just go to Cardinal Newman High School?
So you mean, like, if it makes sense?
Like, it's payable to Cardinal Newman, right?
Of course.
Signed by Ed to Treasurer, right?
No.
But why would it?
Listen, the account itself, that's the name of the account.
Yes.
Itself.
Yes.
Yes, that's the name of the account.
I understand that.
Yes.
Wouldn't that make sense to go to that fund and then later be paid out of there?
Of
For
course.
tax purposes.
Of
or
course.
any type of purposes.
Yes, of
or
course.
receipt purposes, right?
Yes,
Since
of
it's
course.
a non-for-profit.
But to pay it online too, you will have all those things. You will have your receipt and everything.
Okay.
Because lately,
But you could do it from that account. It doesn't have to go from your personal account.
I mean, at that time, I need to think about it. Because me, when I'm making a payment for myself, my kids is in school over there. That's what I did. I just go online, made it. This is the reason I contact the parents to get, like, the account information. Just do it online. That's what at that time. That's all I was thinking at that time.
Okay, which was not very smart. Do we both agree with that?
Yes, but with the technology, nobody drives to go anywhere. You just sit home, put your cell phone, you go online, you do whatever you have to. That's what I was thinking at that time. But like you said, was it smart?
No, it wasn't. Because it's like you said, it was due to Megan Cassius, right? And then and you being at the church a very long time, right?
Yeah.
And then being part of those meetings and whatever, you were basically coached on how to basically be a Grand Knight. You're in charge of this and how to.
Yes.
Okay. So for you to go out your own way and do something different, I just don't understand how that doesn't make sense to me.
Let me tell you how it is with Get Nine, with Night of Columbus. When you simple, now you're not in the community, nothing, you just show up in the meeting, there is things you don't know. Those things they talk about it just between there's a board, what we call treasure, a Get Night and everything. So they talk about it. So you that used to come in the meeting and everything, you don't know nothing like that, right? So when you talk about, like, the $2,500 scholarship, like I tell you, just after Get Night, he came. This issue, the same issue happened with the person that before me as a Get Night.
Okay.
The same issue. I don't know if they tell you that. There is Carlos Rendon. He was before me.
Okay.
His name is Carlos Rendon.
Okay.
So soon they put him as a Get Night after election. The same thing happened. What happened? Ed go to him, tell him, like, listen, we have this money, we need to pay this scholarship. So nobody never paid the scholarship and everything. So at that time, Wabet was in the hospital. He went straight to the hospital, tell Wabet, we need to take your name off from this because you never pay the scholarship. You keep the money, you never pay the scholarship. Because of that, everybody, Wabet go around, tell everybody about it. Because of that, he left. So Wabet, the same Wabet, has to take over for the Great Night last year, right? And then every year for a different election.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, let's stick to topic. Is what I'm saying is, nobody else has ever taken money from the Cardinal Newman Fund and put it on their own personal account. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So
but why would you do that?
Did I know that? I didn't know that. When I say it to Ed, Ed said, yes, you can do it. Like I said, Ed is the treasurer. He's the one that knows everything about the money. He says, Evans, you can do it. So you want to pay it online? That's what I did. That's the reason why I did. I didn't have any other reason to do it. But if I have to drop the check, I will never take it from him. I will tell him to go ahead and drop it. So I have to go just there to drop a check. I don't even have time. I work like 7 to 7.
And how long did it take you to try to pay this account?
Which one?
This check?
How long that take me?
Yes. Because it was in your account for a little bit. Why did it take so long to make the payment?
Which payment?
This check right here, you said to make it a payment online, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why was it in your account so long?
Because like the check never clear. So the check supposed to be clear on the 5th, so it wasn't clear. So now they give another 2 or 3 weeks. The check never clear. So after that, the first date or second date, we had the meeting. So when we had the meeting, Wabet and I, we talk about that we had a problem with case. Out each other. So I was like, I was the one that called the bank. So he's like, listen, I'm out of this. So you need to send the money back to TD Bank. And then they tell me, no, TD Bank need to request the money. So I have to meet again with Ed. I tell Ed, can you go to TD Bank, make TD Bank request the money back? Which is, he said he did it.
And then what did Mark say?
I'm sorry?
Did you ever talk to Mark?
Mark?
Yes.
Mark is not in the, which Mark? Which one? Mark Rose?
No. Mark Lambert.
Oh, no.
You don't talk to him?
No. Mark never show up in the meeting. So, and then we don't have that kind of friendship. So after the meeting, people call each other or text each other. No, we text like when we need something for the group. That's all.
All right, so after reading a text message with Mark, you said that you had the checks and that you're going to give them back to him at one point, right?
Who, Mark?
Yeah.
No.
No, Robert.
Robert.
Yeah. All right.
So I
And
said,
then you later said, yes, you can look at the text if you want. And then you later said that you just basically ignored him after that. You said, yes, you have the checks. After you left the meeting.
in the meeting, yes.
But that was not true because one was already deposited.
But I still have it.
Okay.
So I don't know, on which way you understand it. Because he was asking Evans, did what's his name, Ed give you the checks? I said, yes. They said they might take 2 checks of $20,000 from Ed.
Okay.
So this is the reason why when they make it out, so I was the one that cleared that out with Father. Because when he says like 20,000, I said, no, it's not 20,000 anymore. Because I give 1 check back to Ed.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
But Robert was specifically asking you for the checks.
I said,
And after that meeting, and you said, yes, you have the
I
checks.
have the checks, yes.
But 1 check was already deposited.
That's correct.
Okay. So you didn't have the checks. Plural means you had both. That means 2, more than 1. Or whatever you write. Checks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Checks like S. That means more than 1, right? That's
Yes,
plural.
that's correct, yes.
Okay. So you didn't have really both checks. It wasn't until later that's when you basically were like, hey, I'm dealing with it right now. It's going to be paid to the fund or whatever. If you remember the conversation through text, but you never obviously gave Robert the checks, and now we know what was going on. But why did you initially tell him that you had the checks, but you really didn't because 1 was already deposited?
Because like on myself, I have the checks.
Yeah.
So I deposit that checks that I deposit. It's on my own account. So if I have to give the money back, so just all I have to do, nobody has favor to go to my account to get it. I'm the one that's going to get it or write him another check for $10,000. But which is, I tell him I didn't take any checks from you. I'm not giving you any checks. I will give this. If I have to give the checks, I will give the checks to the person that give it to me. So which is when I didn't use the other one, I give it to Ed. So you don't have the copy of the other one?
The other one wasn't deposited.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I give it to Ed.
Exactly. Well, I'm just saying, but obviously 1 was
Yes.
deposited. Okay, which is proof I showed you.
Yes, I did it, they just to pay, like I tell you, to pay the money for Kelly. The balance of 2,300 something or 200 something.
Yeah. But what you're not agreeing with me with, and we're not going to go around in circles, all right, is the fund is made for that $2,500.
Yes.
It's never taken in a lump sum of 10. All right, just hear me out. It's never taken in a lump sum of 10. Okay? The reason for it is because the $10,000 is the maximum they could get, right?
Yeah, for 4
So,
years.
yes, okay, I understand that, for 4 years. All right. So the reason for that is just like you said, if they left school or their grades are not kept up or what or any of that
Yes.
issue, then you're not out of all that money. You know, it's already taken out and they can stay in the account and maybe gross more money or whatever percent, whatever is left in the account to continue growing or yielding or whatever, what have you.
Yes.
Okay. You took upon yourself, all right, as the Grand Knight, to take that check and deposit it. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, all right. We could agree on that, okay? Then you proceeded, whether you, like you said, which was stupid or not stupid, or Ed said you could do this or not, wrote your name up top of Cardinal Newman, and then scratched out Ed Manick's name and wrote your name, and then deposited the check.
No,
into your
no, no.
account.
I didn't scratch.
Okay,
I don't know.
you put a line
If the
out,
copy,
whatever.
no. If you see that line, that wasn't me. No, probably I don't know if the copy. No, I didn't put
Okay,
it
but
right.
you wrote your name above the signature.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
With Ed, yes.
Okay, and then you deposited the check.
Yes.
What I'm telling you is that doesn't make sense because it's not supposed to be like that. You took that upon yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Your
That's
initiative to do that.
my responsibility. Yes.
Okay. So what I'm telling you is, why would you in your mind think that would make sense to do something like that?
The reason why at that time when we were talking, all head and high, all we were thinking about just pay, because that's it head here, the money been sitting here, and then everybody that has scholarship, they never get the scholarship. He was like, Evans, let's do that. Ed was the one that came with the check already right for $10,000. I never tell him like bring me a check for $10,000. We counted, it's like gonna be like $10,000 for 4 years. So after the meeting, those checks already been done. And then 2 weeks after we had the meeting, and then we come up like, okay, so we need to discuss. There's a 2 checks of 10,000 and get out. You know, the money wasn't get out, but there's 2 checks right of 10,000. At that time, like we discussed about, it's supposed to be 2,500 in case the kids leave the school and everything.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, as of right now, unfortunately, I do believe that you did have maybe malice intent of basically stealing all that money, but what you did is wrong. Period.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. You cannot write your name over a check and you cannot sign your name.
Okay.
All right. So as of right now, what you're looking at as being charged is grand theft
Okay.
of $10,000 and uttering a forged instrument, which is a check.
Okay.
Okay. Those are 2 felonies. Okay. I try to help you out. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that you did anything wrong or anything like that, but you're not helping yourself. If you told me you had financial problems, this is why you did this, you weren't thinking, and then you later paid back this and that, whatever. But I can't force you to say anything.
Listen, I don't want.
I could only look at what I have, which is the proof here of all your statements, and looking at all the overdraft fees and all the unpaid balances and certain things that you have here, your suspended license. And that's all I could go by, which is the actual evidence.
I will never tell you yes.
That's fine.
That's all I have on my intention, just to steal the money. No,
Okay.
that wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And what happened in 2014?
What happened in 2014?
Scheme to defraud. What happened on that?
No, it was one of my cousin husband. So I have to do a mortgage for him, and then I didn't do the mortgage. He went to Bank of America, so he didn't speak English. I was the one that's always speak for him.
Oh, okay.
So what happened? Like he give like money for the appraisal, and then he give money for the inspection, and then when the house, we're supposed to get the house from the auction. So what we call, he takes like when the house sell, he says like, I am the one that's sell the house to one of my clients, so which is he doesn't understand.
Okay.
So he lost the house.
Okay.
Because of that, so we go over here like talk about that. He says I steal his money. So I mean, they have been looking for me, whatever they at that time, they didn't find me. At the end, they went to my cousin house, they find me. You can see anything, things discharged and everything. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't steal money. I didn't sell the house. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mr. Evans Paul, I appreciate you speaking with me. Do you have anything else to say reference
No.
this case?
If you have any more questions, yes, I will answer.
Okay. That's basically it. Unfortunately, as of right now, like I said, you're gonna be under arrest for
Okay.
grand theft and ordering a fraud, a forged check.
Okay.
Okay. All right. This includes my interview with Mr. Evans Paul at District 16 Substation, Friday, February 28th, 2025, at approximately 21:07 hours.